Hello, dear students. It's nice to see you here again. Today we're gonna start our lesson from Unit 10 in your Speak Out pre-intermediate book. Our unit is called Society. This is the place we live in. We spend our daily time in society, around people, around laws and regulations of society. So let's switch to 10.1. It's connected, it's related to cities around the world. It's called Top 10 Cities. So the first exercise starts from, it's by the way page 98 in your book. So the first exercise starts from speaking. As I told you, we'll do our discussion speaking section when we meet on Skype. By the way, this will happen next week. So this week you work on your unit, and next week we'll meet and start our discussions. So please pay attention to your speaking parts in this unit so that you get prepared, get ready for our discussions next time. But I will mostly talk about your written assignments and listening assignments. So we'll switch to exercise 2A. It's called Describing a City. It's connected with vocabulary. So here, from 1 to 12, you have been given statements which you read and try to find out which one is positive and which one is negative. So if we start from the first sentence, it has clean, safe streets. So the city has clean and safe streets. Is it a positive feature or negative? Of course, it's positive because it's not dirty, it's clean. People don't throw litter, or cleaners clean it every day, wash the streets. And also safe streets. So safe, it's the opposite of dangerous. Dangerous is negative, but safe is positive. So there are not a lot of crimes in this city, and so on. So we put our plus for positive. Next, you read the next sentence and again define whether it's negative or positive. All you need is to put plus or minus. Okay? I think there is nothing difficult here. Then we switch to exercise 3AB. Again, it's listening part, but before listening, we usually, discuss some photos. For example, here in this case, they gave photos, or we do some predictions, pre-listening predictions. This time it's photo. You look at the photo of different countries, of different cities, sorry. It's Dubai, Sydney, Tokyo. And your question is, what do you think about these cities, and which city does each speaker talk about? So you will write what you think about these cities. We will talk about later. But your main question is which city does each speaker talk about? So you can write here the cities they talk about. Maybe you have Dubai, but in the recording you won't hear Dubai. Okay, that's why this question is important. So they might mention only 2 or 3 cities, but in your photo you have 5. So next, after you write your cities you hear, you go to exercise B in part B. Which city has these things? So you read the things that the city have: perfect weather, fast, cheap public transport, and the same is with the rest until 7. So perfect weather has been given to you. It's Sydney. Sydney has perfect weather. And what about fast and cheap public transport? Which city has got this fine public transport system? So you write next to it your city, the city you hear from the recording. Then we'll go to page 99. Exercise 5. By the way, this is grammar part. Usually we don't touch grammar because our subject is related to listening and speaking, as you know. But there are some structures we sometimes go over because we need them for our discussions. In our discussions, we use the structures to give our opinion. And if I'm not mistaken, with your group, we talked once about the differences of like and to be like. But let me give you just one or two examples so that I know you all are aware of it, of this structure. So if you pay attention to this yellow yellow box with rules, it also clearly explains you. And you can also go to page 146 to get some more examples and some more explanations. But in brief, I'll tell you that the difference between like and be like is like when you like something, you love it, you enjoy doing it, right? I like traveling, I like fishing, right? I like chocolate. But what about be like? Be like is like when you give your opinion, you describe something. If it's a person, you tell about his personality, how good he is or how bad he is, okay? So if for example, if I have just visited Tokyo and you have never met Japanese people, and you want me to tell you, to describe you about these Japanese people, so you ask me the question, what are the Japanese like? It means describe, please, these people, their personality. Are they friendly? Are they hospitable? And so on, helpful, and so on. Or if I have just visited a new restaurant and you want me to describe you this place, so you ask me the question, what is this new restaurant like? So you want my opinion about this restaurant, okay? And the same is with the weather, with the places again, some other places apart from restaurant and cities, so on. Lots of things. Food. Okay, and I think it's clear for you the difference. And to do the exercise 5A, you have to match questions from 1 to 5. It's here. And below you have answers from A to E. So you have to do your matching, okay? So for example, let's take okay, let's take the first one. What's Sydney like? So the person wants me to describe Sydney. So I go down and choose the best answer for it. So this is your answer. Sydney is one of the best cities in the world. Okay? Then there is one thing I would like to tell you. For instance, you could say, okay, they ask me about Sydney. I can easily find Sydney and that's it. No. If you pay attention to 3 and 5, they both include Tokyo. So that's why you have to find out what you are asked about Tokyo. The third question is, do you like living in Tokyo? So this is our first meaning of word like. It's like enjoy, love doing something. So that's why you have to be careful with your answer. But your number 5 is what do you like best about living in Tokyo? Actually, this is also about liking. Yeah, it's not to be like, but you will have 2 different answers. I thought your 5 is to be like. It's the same as like, love. So that's why you have 2 answers with Japan, with Tokyo. One includes Tokyo, another includes Japan. So you have to be careful about your answers. Do you like living in Tokyo? Is it like D, I love Japanese food? Or is it like A, yes, Tokyo is a great city to live in? And again, what do you like best about living in Tokyo? Is it your A or D. So be careful with this comparisons and sentences close in meanings. I think it's clear with 5. Let's move on to page 100. So page 100 has got some reading part. Again, we have, let's first start from exercise 1. We have photos below. It's about city life, like cars, parkings, I don't know, different stations. You have exercise 1. In exercise 1, it's, by the way, I'm sorry, your 10.2 is called crime and punishment. We'll talk about all about crime and punishment mostly in big cities. First one is match photos from A to E below with the crimes in the box. So you have crimes here like graffiti. You know what graffiti is? It's like painting on the walls, murder, killing someone, and things like that. These are easy. So you should match these titles, crime titles, with the photos, okay? So take just photo A and place it next to the word you think describes this photo, okay? Then think about these questions for our further discussion. What crimes are the most serious? Number them in order, and are any of these crimes a problem in your city? So when we meet on Skype, we'll talk about this, about not only problems around the world, but also criminal cases, crime problems in our city. Next, you go to exercise 2A and C. So there is a short reading. You know, we sometimes do this short readings, like mostly scanning. You will quickly go over the text. It's called Make the Punishment Fit the Crime. So here you have 3 questions. After you read this text, you have 3 questions to answer. Please read carefully these questions and try to answer them by writing 1 or 2 sentences next to your question, so that we know you have found out all about the text and you know the answers to the questions. Also, pay attention to the vocabulary. Vocabulary includes crimes and their punishments. For example, we talked here about graffiti, right? So what is the punishment for graffiti? Of course, you won't be sent to prison. It's not prison sentence. Your punishment is not prison sentence, but you might pay some fine, some money for what you have done in a wrong way. And things like that. You will see lots of crimes and punishment. It's shoplifting, fraud, and things like that. And of course, if you don't know the meaning of the word, you will look it up in your dictionary. Just pay attention to bold words. Let's step to the next one. It's page 101. 10.3, there is a problem. Let's see what problem is there in these cities. We talked about crime problem, but this might be minor problems. Or we see here traffic jam. It's not a minor problem in big cities. And let's begin. So here we'll touch mostly. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. This is 102. We need 101. It's on the right. Oops. Just a second. We have minor problems here. Okay, it's on the right. This is 3A, exercise 3A. It's again vocabulary of crime and punishment. So from the text you have just read, you have some definitions here which ask you to give the description of the word you have to find. But you will pick them out from the text. So, for example, you have a definition, a person who steals things. Who is that person? A person who steals things, and I would say mostly in public, it's thief. Yeah, those who steal things from you in public, in streets, they are called thieves. But the difference between thief and a mugger, it's like a thief can steal you without using any force, but muggers, they use force. They can have a knife to make you frightened, or they can use some force, they can hit you, and these persons are called muggers. That's the difference between a mugger and a thief. Okay, I'm not sure if you have the word mugger here, no. But for your awareness, I would say that's the difference between thief and mugger. The next one is time that is spent in prison. It's we just talked about this prison sentence and things like that. So to make your work easier, you can anytime go to the text to find your answers. But if you see you cannot find it because I see here 9 statements, but I don't see 9 bold words in your text. So it might ask you to find yourself. But don't worry, it's all about crime and punishment. And your B part, actually I haven't included here B. Why? Because your B part is one of your individual works. You will make a table of criminal, crime and punishment. So a person, an action he did, and punishment, the result of it, the result he gets as a punishment. So this one is your individual work. We talked about this in your previous video. Okay, to get more about crimes and criminals and punishments, you should visit page 159. There is a photo bank at the bottom, so you can find out more words about crime and punishment. So you can memorize and add it into your own vocabulary. Next, we go to page 102. We just visited that mistakenly, and now we are here. It's called There is a Problem. It's problem of traffic. You see here of litter, trash in the streets, ATM machines, cash-in machines, and so on. So what you will do here, in exercise 1, vocabulary, look at phrase from 1 to 8. What do the words in bold mean? Which things can you see in photos A and E? So if you read this bold words, and just write a few words, like a short definition of what delay is, public transport delay. So for delay, you can write late, right? Being late. Litter, you can give a synonym, trash, or things that people throw on the ground. So please, just write the meaning, short meaning, synonym of these bold words so that I know that you know what this word is. Okay? What do the words in bold mean? That's your work here. But concerning of what you see in the photos and describing them, we'll do it during our speaking. The next one is function. It's all connected with listening. It's called complaining. What is to complain? It's when you are not satisfied with something and you start complaining. next here is 2A. Listen to 3 people complaining and answer the questions. So 3 people complaining is also in B, you see 3 conversations. They have different questions for each conversation, for each person in 3 conversations. You have to listen and answer the questions. And the same is in 2A, 3 people complaining and answer these questions. I think 2 and A are your general questions, like where are they? So you will write about 3 people, 3 places these people are. And what problems do they describe? 3 problems they have just described. But then for details, you go to conversation 1, 2, 3. These are their personal questions and answer for each person. Okay, I think you can complete it without any difficulty. Then we go to exercise 3A. So here you read sentences from 1 to 6, and you have to find out whether these are complaints or responses. So the first one is done for you. There is a problem with the air conditioning. So it's of course a complaint. You are not satisfied with the equipment in your hotel room or somewhere else. So you are complaining. This is a complaint. Or we'll look into it right away. So this is response. I ask you to look into it to solve this problem. So your answer is, okay, well, we'll do something about it. Okay, we'll look into it right away, right now. So all you do is just put CR. C, complaints, R, responses. Okay. Next, our exercise is on page 102. 1A. Sorry. We talked about this. Just a second. So next is exercise 4. After 3, we switch to exercise 4. It's below the photos. Match complaints from 1 to 4, it's here, with responses from A to D. It's here below. Okay? So it's not difficult. You just read the first part, the complaint, and then you find the response. Okay? Actually, this is close to what you have just done in 3A. But here, the task is that you just match them. The problem, the complaint, and the response. Okay? Okay, now we go to page 103. It's the last page. Here you will do only the exercise 6. In exercise 6, you have to... just a second. Okay. In exercise 6, you have a box with some words from the conversations. Actually, this conversation, as you see, is connected with the previous exercise 2A here. So you have completed the words from the of course, from phrase you heard during your conversations. Here there are mistakes. There are missing in each phrase. I read the first one from conversation 1. Excuse me, could I to the manager? So what's missing here? There is a main verb missing here. Okay, so let's find it. Could I speak to the manager? So you put here kind of a tick or something, just show me that where this word should stand. You put one line here or tick, and you write speak there. Okay? Yes, one moment please. See if you have problem here, add your word. If you don't have any missing word, just go to the next one. So sometimes they show you the gaps, but this time they didn't. And maybe this will be a little bit complicated than doing the gap fills. So you have to find the place yourself. But I don't think that will be difficult because you have worked with these conversations in previous exercise. So you can easily manage. You can even play the recording again to help you. That's it, guys. I hope you can manage this easily. And I'm waiting for your homework next week on Monday. As you know, we use our Speak Out on Monday and tactics for listening on Tuesday and Thursdays. Please do your work, don't be lazy, and submit it as soon as you finish it. And I'll inform you about our meeting or our online meeting on Skype. I'll inform your monitors, and from them you will find out my Skype address and join our discussions. Bye for now.